Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Plunet Summit 2023. That's exactly the spirit I want this year. Thank you so much. Yeah, we are back. I cannot believe it. And as you all know, last year I was standing up here with my amazing colleagues from the management team, and we welcomed you in Stefan's name. Because Stefan couldn't make it due to a bicycle accident. I feel like I have mentioned that a lot of times. As you can tell, I'm still going through that trauma from last year. But this year, he's here. And who better to walk you through the last 20 years of Plunet and talk about why we're here today. I also want to talk about why we're here today, why we are here today at this event, actually. And there are, of course, a lot of reasons. And the first reason is we want to take the fear out of technology. And I know you all use Plunet, so your fear of technology cannot be that big because it's a beast of a software. But we still hear from a lot of our customers that there's a little bit of fear around working with the API, working on integrations, fear of automation. So we want to take that away today. And then, of course, there's also the fear of AI. I wish I could make it through more slides without saying that buzzword, but as you all know, I feel like AI became so apparent to everybody in the world that a lot of people are actually, even from outside, asking us now, like, what's happening to your industry? So we also want to talk about that. We have our technology partners here, so we're also, of course, going to talk about what are the changes in technology in our industry. We have an amazing panel tomorrow where our technology partners are going to talk about that, which I'm super excited about. And hopefully we all go back and have a good answer to what is going to happen to your industry with the new technology after this event. I actually had a conversation with a very good friend of mine just this year. He's a software developer, and we had a beer in New York, and he said to me, he was like, your industry is going to be gone in 5 years. I bet you that. And I was like, oh, wow, I think that's a very bold statement for somebody who doesn't understand what we do, especially because usually people don't understand what translation is, and all of a sudden everybody knows it's going to be replaced. So I had like a whole back and forth. I mean, I'm obviously prepared for that question, and I just realized that people don't really understand that industry altogether. I mean, how complex it is, how much there is beyond just the physical act of translating text. And funnily enough, he works in crypto, so we will see whose industry is dead before. And yeah, what is the status of AI in the industry? I actually went on a little trip this weekend. I was bold enough to leave Berlin, and I went to wine country with my girlfriends for a camping trip, and we were looking for a beer garden to have a beer when I arrived, and we were looking at reviews, and I just loved that sometimes the universe gives you a little sign right before. And I read this review on Google, and it said, beautiful spots on the Rhine, cool cyclist in the sun, what more could you want? And I was like, that actually sounds pretty cool. I imagined cyclists sitting in the sun, really cool. And if you don't know that this is a translation, you could also think that that's a valid review, right? Who wouldn't want to sit with some cool bikers in the sun? But then I actually realized it was a German translation. My phone obviously thinks I'm American. And the actual translation is, of course, only funny for people who speak German. I'm sorry. So it says, schönes Flecken am Rhein, kühles Radler in der Sonne, was möchte man mehr? I'm from Cologne, and in Rhineland, a Radler, which is the same word as bike cyclist, is actually a cool beer with a little bit of Sprite in there. So it was just such an amazing example for how a translation can give you a completely different picture of what it is. Of course, this is a funny example, but this was a week ago. I mean, the review. And this is machine translation status from this weekend. So there's still a long way to go. And as long as the machine doesn't know the difference between a Radler and a cyclist, I think we're all going to be fine. Now that we covered this. I want everybody in this room to take away at least 3 things from this event. Technology goals that you take home. In the bags you have, everybody got a goodie bag. If you reach in there, you have a takeaway sheet. The takeaway sheet has every single session on there, so you can take notes for each of them. And because you always think you remember everything in the moment, I mean, I do at least, and then when you come home, there will be so many impressions. So just write everything down, just note down things that you want to remember, and then make it your goal to take at least 3 things away. That could be, I want to implement an auto job. We have a great roundtable on auto jobs, or I want to fully automate a couple of my projects, or I want to get an ISO certification. Whatever it is, take away some technology goals, and then implement them when you come back. Then the last one is a little more long-term. It's actually not the last one, I'm lying. We want everybody here to become a technology-enabled language service provider. That's actually our mission as Plunet for all of our clients. We looked at the data specifically in the last year, and we saw a direct correlation between technology-enabled language service providers, so providers who use their technology, utilize it, go even further than just using the normal technology, and their success rate. So we can really see also the great numbers from NIMSY. We can look at growth rates and revenue and see the correlation between growth and software use. So don't be scared. Last year, we had some of our amazing power users, and they were like, I didn't study, I didn't go to school, like, I cannot code, I'm so scared of the API. And then we have our amazing Dan, who said, I have a degree in history, so if I can do it, you can do it too. So that's also the spirit I want everybody to have. You can all do amazing things with the software. You don't need to be able to code to make something out of this amazing piece of software you have. And then last year, I showed these numbers, the automation numbers. It was a CSA survey, and they were asking in 2021 if people are fully automating their projects. And 70% of the respondents said they absolutely do not automate anything fully. And only 10% said that some of their 30% said some of their projects were fully automated. Out of those, only 10% of their projects, though, actually less than 10%, were fully automated. So we're looking at 70% do not fully automate at all, and then the ones that do only automate around 10% of their projects fully. We ask our clients in 2023, and there's a caveat to these numbers. I'm not trying to fool you into anything. I will go through this, but we ask our customers, and literally 0% said that they wouldn't benefit from full automation. And the number that really shocked me in a positive way, I guess, was that out of those, they said that up to 50% of their projects could actually be fully automated. The caveats to those numbers, they're already Plunet clients. These people here, there were some people who didn't even have a TMS in place, right? So we're talking about very different LSPs as well. And of course, our clients were already interested in automation. Otherwise, they would have not come to the survey. So again, a little bit of a caveat for that. But also, more and more projects actually can be fully automated. So projects you have smaller projects, higher turnaround times, and a higher volume. So it's actually inevitable to fully automate some of those if you want to stay competitive and if you want to stay profitable. And then also, my favorite part of it is that people who responded to our survey saw our full automation capabilities. So I feel like once you see it and once you see the flexibility, it's not as scary anymore as if CSA asks you, like, do you want to fully automate? I mean, what does it even mean? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about data a lot and about automation a lot. I'm really excited for the roundtables. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And then lastly, the last event goal is building long-lasting relationships. So not only with us, we are of course super excited that we have you all here, that we have that quality time, but also there's so many amazing users in this group. There are already kind of like terms, Plunet terms, like I don't know, you need EN-level Plunet knowledge for this, or they hired a Dan in their company. So there are people here that actually do so much with the software, so make sure you talk to people, see what they have done, what they have built, and enjoy the amazing sessions. Make sure you don't miss any of them. They're going to be really amazing. And since we cannot do this every year, I mean, we can maybe do it every year, but not every day, we also have the user community. Josie and Leo are going to talk about that tomorrow. But this is also something what we really want you all to do is making use of the user community. That's what you can do all year round to exchange with users. I think, Ludmila, you said that to me, that that was such a big part of improving your Plunet system, just browsing through the community. And when talking about the community, I always have to talk about one person in particular. There's not just 20 years of knowledge from us, but there's also 20 years of client success. So we have a lot of amazing customers here that have done great things and gave back a lot. But there's one person in particular who I don't see right now, but Lieven, over here. Lieven is our #1 community contributor. He's actually ahead of everybody on our team. So big thank you to you. Yeah, and an applause. We're so thankful for your knowledge, for your replies, for your ideas. It's really, really incredible to have somebody like you in the community. And then, of course, also a big thank you to our sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do this event without you. MemoQ is our gold sponsor and also Wi-Fi sponsor. So the reason you can live tweet about this event or live LinkedIn, whatever you like to do, is because of them. Yeah, such a great technology partner and also friend. Super excited to have you here. We have a MemoQ roundtable and, of course, also a guru corner in the back. Then we have Be Lazy. Ishvan, I don't know where you are. Right there. One of my industry favorites as well. Ishvan is taking on all of those integrations that we don't want to focus on. So thank you for taking that off our hands. I know connecting two systems, it's not easy. So we are going to talk about connecting TMS to other TMSs in the roundtable with Be Lazy. Then we also have Blackbird here. Bruno over there. Thank you so much for joining for the first time. Blackbird also takes off all of these integrations from our hands that we do not focus on. Content management systems, integrating MT we're going to talk about with a low-code platform. So also make sure you check out that roundtable if you signed up for it. If not, you have to make sure there's still a little bit of room. Then we have Phrase, also one of our sponsors. Once again, I do not see where you are sitting. Maybe wave real quick. Oh, over there. If anybody has a hangover, the complaints can go straight to Phrase because of the amazing cocktails you sponsored last night. Super excited to have you here. Thank you so much. Also, we have a roundtable. We are going to talk about the automation manager that now also works with Phrase, which is super exciting. And last but not least, AWS, one of our oldest technology partners. Super excited to have you here. We have 3 roundtables with AWS about Trados and GroupShare and our integrations. So thank you all so much for making this possible. So yeah, in the other room, for everybody who's new to this, there is our Plunet Guru Corner in the right, where also all of our workshops are taking place. If you signed up for a workshop in your badges, you have a little I signed up dot in there, so you know when you have a workshop. And whenever there's a break, you can, of course, go and check it out. And on the left side, we have our photo booth and our charity corner. Our charity partner this year is Clear Global. Also known as Translators Without Borders. We're super excited also that we have a presentation on the project that we are supporting this year. If you take a photo, and this is important, if you take a photo and post it with the hashtag language matters or the hashtag Plusam, we have a little feed of that. We are going to donate €5 per photo for the event. So please make sure to post as much as you can and make use of the photo booth. You can, of course, also take photos and just keep them to yourself. This is not, you don't have to post them if you don't want to, but we, of course, really appreciate it if we could support the cause. Then we have our Wi-Fi password for everybody who needs to connect. Thank you again, MemoQ. We love you. Thank you for doing this. Please use the Wi-Fi to post about the event. Make sure we flood social media. All of the clients who couldn't make it said, I cannot wait to actually see everything about the event on LinkedIn. So let's make sure that they can be part of it a little bit. If you can, don't use it to check your emails. Really try to be here and present because we really have amazing sessions. So put your out of office in and yeah, just enjoy the knowledge that is going to be shared. Last but not least, the roundtables. I always have to explain those because this year we made them a little more complicated. Our very own Lina, I don't know where she is sitting, wrote a script last year over there that worked really well. So this year we said, well, we make it even more complicated this year because every session will be different for each round to see if her script can cover that as well, and it could. So you have 3 dots on your badge on the front side, which shows you which roundtables you're part of. The first sticker is the first round. All of the rounds are 35 minutes. You have 5 minutes to change. Then the second table starts, and then the third one. You don't need to worry. We'll put the tables up when the time comes in the afternoon. We also have, of course, our colleagues who will help you find your table if you have issues. If you didn't sign up, you don't have a dot, don't worry. You can, of course, join the ones that are still open. But yes, those are your choices that you made or the backup choices. And then just one last thing for logistics. If you need the bathroom, you just go out here. They are on the right. They're a little further than you think, just so you know where to go. And since we want to make sure everybody goes to the sessions in German time, we have a little bell. When you hear that ringing, if you're outside, please make sure you come in here because that means the next session is starting. And yeah. That is all from an organizational standpoint.